Hello, how's everybody? Hi. Guys, ready to listen to stories? Good evening, hello. Hi, Stunt. Hello, hello. Casual and Mist and Star. Hello. And is it Divorce? Oh my. Interesting name. Hello, Callum and Storm. And Verb. Hello. And Placebo. And Cookie and Hugh. Hi, everybody. Gonna get to part 7 of the book. Let's see. I'm gonna put this all in one. Wait, did I just make this full screen? Oh god. Oh no. What did I just do? Oh god. I don't know what I just did to my window. Okay. Well then, I can't move the window, which is lovely. Don't you just love that? Reset UI. That didn't do it. Oof. Let's see if we can fix this. So I'll just move it to another window. Awesome. Battle, thank you so much. The dear one. Let's see here. Oh god. Wait, what did I just do? Am I still alive, guys? Oh no. What did I do visually? Is everything gone? Oh no, it's not. Okay. I'm trying to sign into Stream Elements properly so I can see notifications. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, I think we got it. Give me 1 second. It wants me to connect to my email. Hope everyone's doing alright though. Sorry for the scuff. Okay, there we go. Good. Twitch activity feed. Ah, there we go. I was just a big dummy, I guess. I guess I didn't see that before. Thank you. Thank you, Stun, for the resub for 3 months, and thank you, Battle. I can see. Nice. So, oh, there goes my hat. Alright. I'm still trying to get used to using Stream Elements instead of Streamlabs, so sorry for all the technical issues. It's definitely a lot better. Let's see. There we go. Alright, now I can begin reading. Hopefully, I don't break anything else. Visually. And main page. Alright, so I guess I can kind of summarize where we're at in the story. So basically there's a girl named Mine, which you can see in the picture right here, and she is a girl who lived in this world, but there was another girl named Urino who got isekai'd into this world and reincarnated as her. Not really reincarnated, but basically took over her body, which is interesting. I think basically when she died and this character died, they kind of like, the girl took over sort of thing. I don't know. Either way, the girl from modern Japan is here in this like more medieval setting, and she's trying to figure out how to get books in this world because she's really into books. A bookworm, perhaps. may even be a bookworm, hence the title. And she's figuring out different ways to make books because she knows that only nobles and rich people can have books in this world. So she's trying to find alternatives. Like, she's currently learning how to write and read from one of the guards at the gate that her dad works at in the city, because he's like one of the only people that know how to write. And then she's also making wood into paper. It's called what was it called? Mokan is what it's called in Japanese, where it's paper writing, wood made into paper, and then usually you just, write on it. So she's trying to create that currently. Before, her 2 failed attempts were leaving plants together to make paper, and then she also tried to make papyrus, which is clay tablets, which failed as well. So she's definitely had a few attempts at trying to make something to write on. So she's on her like 3rd attempt, I guess you could say. And she's also very smart, and everyone acknowledges she's very smart. So she has a high chance of maybe getting into the Merchant's Guild that can get her, further along in life. Because her dad's other friend has connections to the Merchant's Guild. She's also very ill. She's a very sickly girl, but over time, throughout the chapters that we've been reading, she's been building up her strength so she'll be able to go to the forest with all her friends to collect wood and all that stuff. And yeah, she's still very ill though. She's not the strongest kid, and she also looks very young for her age. So that is kind of the summary of where we're at. But yeah, she's just trying to find her way through the world and also obtain books, even if she has to make them herself. But yeah, so basically at this current moment, she's learning how to write with his name was what was his name? I forgot the guy's name. She's learning how to read from one of her, actually she's an apprentice now. Not Gunther, what was his name? I forgot already. Anyway, she's an apprentice of someone at the gate that's teaching her how to write. And she'll have a potential to become like sort of like a assistant sort of thing. 1 second. But yeah, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that is where we're at. I don't want to spoil anything because like I'm trying to communicate what's gonna happen next, but I can't really explain it until I read it. So yeah. But if you've read the or watched the anime, you kind of already know what happens next. But yeah, she's definitely attempting to do it on her own at least. Let me find a way so I can mute. Excuse me. There it is. Alright, there we go. Alright. I guess I could foreshadow what's gonna happen if anyone cares. Basically, I think she's going to figure out that making books on her own is gonna be way too difficult, and she's going to need a lot of other people's help, aka the Merchants Guild. But the journey along how she gets there, I guess, is what we're gonna find out through these next few chapters. And also her friend Lutz as well. And also no one has noticed that she's changed, since technically the person is different, the soul in the person. No one has questioned mine, really, like how she's so smart or how she's able to make up recipes and inventions so easily. They just think she's like a kid with an imagination, so that hasn't happened yet. So yeah, interesting. I'm also trying to find where there we go. Alright. I worked so hard that I ended up filthy and unconscious, but I had somehow gotten the soot I needed, and now excuse me, my throat is like really, I guess I might be congested today. Lovely allergies, don't you just love that? Spring air, the pollen, all that good stuff. Alright, I will whisper because it's probably easier. Right, so right now she has the mokan made, and now she's trying to get like ashes or soot so that she can make ink, I guess you could say, or write. Like, is my internet being weird or something? 1 second. My model is flipping out. Alright, we're gonna attempt that again. Hello, Emiliano. But yeah, she's trying to use the mocha to write on with the ash, which actually is very smart. Very, very smart. Mine is actually probably going to be able to write something with this. So, yes. Alright. Where was I? And now I was healthy again. I just had to somehow turn the soot into something I could write with. Let's see. Mine. What are you gonna do with this stuff? With this stuff? Mix it with water, I guess. The first thought that came to mind was dissolving the soot in water. Also, 1 second. The first thought that came to mind was dissolving the soot in water. I got the feeling that would make something like ink. Somehow I put some river water in a wooden bowl and used a stick to mix it in with the soot. The soot just floated in the water without dissolving. Maybe that's enough. Try writing something with it. I took the stick with a shaved down tip and stuck it into the water, then tried writing the number 1 on the mokan, but most of the soot just stuck to the stick instead of the mokan, and the resulting paper was too blurry to read. No, this one's a bust. What'll you try next? Ink making is built around the idea of mixing stuff with oil, but I couldn't ask Mom for oil here. The reason being, our household was always short on oil since we used it for eating and for making my simple all-in-one shampoo. On top of that, we used animal oil for candles and soap, so it would be hard to battle. It would be hard to battle to get any of that. They would probably shoot me down as easily as Mom shot me down for the ashes. Hold on. I think there might be something up with my... give me 1 second to fix this issue I am having. There we go. Yeah, I guess my phone was not the best today, so we will switch capturing devices. Ow, that was a little loud. But that means I can read on my phone now, so it's also a bonus. Alright. Is there an app for this book website? Aha, there is. Nice. Alright, give me a second, guys, to get the app. Also, thank you for the follow, Yumi, or Yummy? Yummy, tasty, Yumi. Let's see here. What was my login for this website? Also, no problem. We're just chilling. It's been a little scuffed. It's honestly been a bit scuffed, so no worries. I've just started. I don't even think I've finished the first page of the first part yet, so also I will take one. Alright, so I am getting the book on my phone, so it can be a little bit easier to read for me. I can even like kind of relax now. Let's see, Ascendance, there it is, volume 1. Oh no, that's the wrong book. I think that's the one that actually came out this month. I need the first book. Ascendance, volume 1. Okay, I think this is it. Part 1, volume 1, and then 7. Right, so am I logged in? Okay, now I can actually log in. Ew. Does my memory allow me to remember? Urgh. I know it was a weird ass password. Alright. Also, can you guys hear me alright? I can always turn it up just a little bit since I know I'm not really that close. There we go. Alright. Alright, now I'm signed in. Yes, my knees move. Yes, yes. Alright, now I can continue reading. Le book, wherever it is. Ascendance. Okay. Part 1, volume 1. This is the one I'm on. Alright, here we are. We have arrived. Finally set up to read. Alright, and it seems like it's a little easier to do. Now I just need to choose a font that I like. Okay, I like that font. And then make it a little bigger. And there we go. Alright. Where did we leave off? Alright. Ink making is built around the idea of mixing stuff with oil, but I couldn't ask Mom for oil here. The reason being, our household was always short on oil since we used it for eating and for making my simple all-in-one shampoo. On top of that, we used animal oil for candles and soap, so it would be a hard battle to get any of that. They would probably shoot me down as easily as Mom shot me down over the ashes. Needing oil is rough. I'm guessing they don't give you any. Nope, none. I wish there was something. I searched my memories for a hint, and plenty of writing utensils used in Japan came to mind. I think the paint in Japanese art used glue, but that's out of the question for me since fire's too dangerous. It really sucks being so small and weak. Getting glue might be more feasible in the future, but not now. That was to make something like paint with natural materials. I had no choice but to wait for my own growth. Hello, mine. Are you alive in there? Come back to me. I could see Lutz waving his hands in front of my eyes, but I was too busy thinking to stop. I guess it doesn't have to be liquid. Crayons, chalk, pencils. Oh, that's it. Clay. I'll mix it with clay. What? I feel like pencil lead was made from mixing granite with clay. Wait, or maybe it was. I don't know what that word says. Something sticks. Alright, I guess it's time to look it up. Oh, it's some kind of, I don't know. How do you say that word? Conte. Okay. Alright. Some kind of like crayon, like a clay art utensil, from what I'm looking at. Also, hello. Oh, also take care, Emiliano. Have a good day. Or sleep if you're going to bed. Yeah, let me bring the emote. The emote will needs to be up here. There we go. Alright. And the alert box could probably go right here. And the menu and the coffee could probably go right here. Sound alerts could probably go right here. Alright, perfect. Alright, so where was I leaving off? I can mix the clay and soot, smash it all into thin cylinders, and then try them. Since once they harden, I might have some solid writing utensils. Nuts, this is where you dug out the clay for the tablets, right? Yeah, but you may as well use the leftovers from back then. They should be around that rock over there. Lutz was right. There was a small mountain of clay over there. I took some of it and mixed in the soot. I was imagining a colored pencil where the whole thing was color, or a pencil made of entirely lead. It wouldn't turn into usable color if I didn't need it myself. So both the rock I was using as a base and my two hands turned pitch black as I molded the stuff into shape of a soot pencil. I then split it into chunks about as long as a pencil each. If these dry and harden, it will be my win. I washed my hands and feet in the river, but they didn't get much cleaner. But filth this persistent would definitely be good for writing. Definitely. How long do you think How long do you think I should dry them? Maybe you should try cooking them. Don't bother, they'll explode again. Oh, I followed Lot's advice, quickly let the soot pencils dry on their own. Intense battle with food. Due to Tuli having started working, it has become my job to prepare meals, but it was impossible for me to make a meal entirely by myself, considering that I couldn't properly hold a knife nor make fires. In the end, I just made the food from Mom, helping where I could. I wanted to take this opportunity to use it to prepare the food in Japanese style. Unfortunately, despite getting pumped up to use my Urinal era knowledge, nothing came from it, because the game was rigged from the start. There was no rice, there was no miso, there was no soy sauce, naturally no store, solid, mirin, or sake. There was nothing I could do without an ingredient. What could I make out of nothing? And hey, I do know how to make miso and soy sauce, okay? I know what they're made of and all that. Soybeans, koji, and salt. I even learned how to put them together back in my elementary school. I went on a field trip to a miso factory, and the demonstrations they held were so interesting, I ended up researching more on my own in the library. I thought back to that field trip after doing my absolute best to organize the recipes for miso and soy sauce. I wrote a report with my supplementary research included. My teacher was so proud, she put it up on a display in the classroom. But where are the soybeans and malts in this world? Even if it were possible to replace soybeans with another kind of common bean in this world, where could I buy koji? Naturally, I was too afraid to make koji through natural means. Also, I'm gonna make the font a little bigger. Alright. Where was I? Where could I find koji? Naturally, I was afraid to make koji through natural means. After all, koji is mold. One simple mistake and the whole family could have food poisoning. Even if I could, if I found some existing koji, I wouldn't want to ferment it in this bacteria-filled house. Not to mention that it would stink so bad my parents would throw it away before it's done. I gave up on making my own seasoning
and tried hard think, to think of Japanese food that didn't need seasoning. What about sashimi? Maybe it tastes good, dipped in salt and fruit juice. But I think this city, I think the city is really far from the ocean. There are no fresh fish in the market. They don't even sell wakame or any other kind of seaweed. Forget sashimi. I can't even make seaweed salad. No ocean meant no kelp, naturally. No dried shrimp, no fish flakes. Without those ingredients, I had no way of making the dashi soup stock that Japanese food needed. That was just a critical problem with no solution. I knew things were different here. I wouldn't ask for powdered soup, stock, or anything like that, but that at least gave me kelp or fish flakes. Also, thank you for the follow. I did try making something similar to pickles with faux cucumbers and wine, but without soy sauce or sugar. It just didn't taste right. It ended up painfully sour, and unlike any pickled food I knew, being incapable of making anything was naturally getting frustrating. So I pieced together the most simple recipe for a child like me to make. I tried eating the faux cucumbers with salt and rubbed it in. The salt drew out some of the water from the cucumber and gave it a nice salty flavor, resulting in something similar to Japanese pickles. I had thought that eating anything similar to Japanese food would satisfy me, but in reality, it just made me yearn for white rice even more. Incidentally, eating the salted cucumbers with multigrain bread felt so wrong that I couldn't handle it. rice, Japanese food. Someone bless me with Japanese food, please. The cucumbers made me want to eat proper Japanese food so much that I got it in my head. To fish at the river and do what I could there. Since I couldn't use a fire, my only choice would be to dry the fish beneath the sun. Dried fish might work, maybe would work out if I salted the fish before drying them. I really hoped it would work. Hey lads, I want to try fishing. Are there any fish in this river? I asked Lutz by the river the next day we went to the forest. I think that'll be too hard for you. Lutz's prediction came true when my attempt at fishing failed spectacularly. Fishing itself was just really hard. I slumped over, depressed, and Lutz brought me a fish. Here, I caught one. What do you want to do with it? If you don't mind, can I have it? No, I don't need a fish. Can you start a fire? I want to cook this with salt. Unable to wait for the sun, I took the fish Lutz caught for me and cooked it over a fire with salt, like one would cook a trout. Ugh, it stinks. It tastes so bad. One bite later, I was scrunching my face up. Weird. It tasted and smelled stinky mud, unlike any fish I had ever eaten before. Why did this fish smell so bad? I tilted my head, searching through my memories to see if I had cooked it wrong, as Lutz frowned his brows. Won't it sting if you cook it wrong like that? fish just smelled bad. I wish she had told me that earlier. I got another fish from him, and this time I prepared it with my knife. It didn't work exactly like a Japanese kitchen knife, so the fish got kind of messed up, but that shouldn't be an impact to the flavor.
Do it sting? Okay. Also, hello. Do it sting? Do it jiggle? Those are very, very important questions to ask. Do it? Probably. It seems like. I think the conclusion to this would be that river fish, like, what would you say, freshwater versus ocean seafood, it definitely has a different flavor. From personal experience, you typically want something that's in a nice clean environment, I guess you could say. Yes. Gotta love water. This is so okay. Other than me messing up like every 5 seconds, it is so much easier reading on the phone. I gotta say, it's so much easier. So I'm glad I set this up. Now I just need like I think I have a stand somewhere. Also, hello Blue. How are you? It's a lot easier. Definitely. No sniff emote. I don't think I've ever had a sniff emote. I can actually sort of breathe through one nostril, which is fun. Improvements. Yes, that. Gotta love stuffy nose. I was just thinking, what is that stuff? I think that's for like, what is it, Vicks? Does that like, that's more for sickness though, for like sinus. I'm like, what could you take for allergies that kind of clears your sinuses? Also, whenever a new image pops up, I guess I'll have to pull it up on the website. Because that was actually, I actually like showing the pages because it gives a visual, at least for the story. What was I saying? Right. We have to finish part 7. Alright, so where was I? It does stink. Do it stink? It do stink. The fish just smelled bad. I wish he had told me that earlier. I just got another fish from him, and this time I prepared it with my knife. Let's see. I took a carved stick and stabbed it in the fish, stabbed the fish with it, and then tried drying it. Maybe dried fish would taste better. I went to gather firewood while the fish dried, and before I knew it, the fish had gotten so hard it was inedible. Too much of its water had evaporated. Mine, what the heck is this? Dried food that got too dry. I don't think we can eat it anymore. Yeah, it doesn't look edible to me, says Lots. But I might be able to get some soup stock out of it. I'll try taking it home with me. Even if I couldn't eat the fish itself, it could potentially serve as a good ingredient for soup stock. I took the hard fish home with me and tried putting it in water. Mine, what is that? Disgusting. Please do not put things like that in our pots. Mom, I wanted to make soup out of it. No, the only thing you can put in a pot is food. But this is food, technically. The dried fish looked so gross that Mom gave it a hard no, rejecting my idea to make soup from it. Maybe it looked so gross to her because she didn't normally eat fish, and a dissected dried one just looked terrible. Kind of hypocritical since she can look at a split open pig's head and think it looks delicious. I'm sorry, Mr. Fish. I couldn't make Japanese food at the end. For now, I'll try and think of how I can use our existing ingredients to make something closer to Japanese food in appearance and taste. That seems like it'll be more fruitful than this. In a stroke of luck, we were given a bird to eat today. One of our neighbors had bagged 5 birds in the forest, apparently, and since it'd be hard for this family to eat all of them before they go bad, he split them with us partially as a thank you for us splitting some of the meat with them when Dad singularly hunted too much in the past. Mom was cutting up the bird and I didn't know what species it was. The knife she used for cutting meat was so heavy that either I nor Tuli could use it yet. Mine, come now, pick the feathers. Right, I grabbed the feathers of the bird and pulled. The sensation of the feathers popping out gave me goosebumps. I kept pulling the feathers while weepily reminding myself that it was necessary if I wanted to eat. It would be a long time before dealing with dead animals didn't bother me, but if I do say so myself, I think I've grown a lot. Considering that I didn't scream or pass out at the sight of Mom gutting a bird. Now mine, it's time to cook, okay? While we were at it, I thought about making broth from the bird bones. Bird bone broth would definitely alter the range of the food flavors. It would be no replacement for kelp or fish flakes, but it could go well with dried mushrooms. However, it was a small struggle to get that bird bone broth. Mom didn't understand what I was trying to do and thus wouldn't help me at first. In these parts, it was normal just to cook the meat and eat it plain off the bone. I managed to convince her to at least chop the bones, though by reminding her that today was my turn to cook. Everything else was up to me. I threw the bird bones, tenderloin, and herbs into our biggest pot. I chose herbs which smelled and tasted similar to what I was used to, despite looking different. The ones I'm used to smelling. Wait, what? The ones I used, smelled, or tasted. The ones I use. That sentence actually doesn't make sense. We actually ran into an error, I think. Alright. I will alter this sentence where it says the ones I used to smell tasted of onion, ginger, and garlic and bay leaf. Really, I put anything that seemed like that would help cover the smell of the meat.
Also, thank you for the follow.
And thank you for the hydrate. And hello, Velvet. Hope you're doing alright. Water. Alright, so mine, wait, that's one's too much for you. It's dangerous. Mom stopped me before I could cut the leaves off off a white radish looking thing. She took the knife and, as if to stop it from running away, grabbed onto its leaves and held it against the cutting board. The moment she glared at me, the white radish had sharply cut it. The moment she glared at me, white radish and sharply cut it in half. I heard a loud scream from the radish. What? I blinked in surprise, wondering if I were just imagining things. When Mom let go of the leaves, I slammed the flat part of the knife against it. She had crushed it just like you would garlic. Mom was faster at chopping up vegetables than me, so I was thankful for her help, but I noticed that the white radish was turning red beneath her knife for some reason. It looked scary, like blood pooling out. That should be enough, but be sure to wash it before you use it. Is it just me, or does Mom look a lot more dangerous than the radish? It probably is just me. Let's leave it at that. In this world, a lot of vegetables look similar to a lot of vegetables that looks familiar to me were actually bizarre and incomprehensible. Each time I encountered one of these weird vegetables, I was reminded that I really was in a world different from my own. A lot had happened, but once the seasoning herbs were inside the pot, all I had to worry about was getting out the scum that would build up. I had heard it was best just to dump all the water once you got it boiling, then refill it with water, but the scum didn't actually impact the soup's flavor, and doing all that would be tedious, so I didn't bother. Once it was boiling, I kept an eye on just the tenderloin and took it out once it was ready. I dipped it into water, shredded it, and that was that. It was ready to be put on the side of some salad. I prepared the other parts of the meat while the soup was cooking. I chopped a hard gizzard and other easily spoiled parts into small chunks and sprinkled them with salt and alcohol. These parts were fine just cooking with salt before eating. That was, as expected, the method of preparation my family was fastest to accept. The word char grilling ran through my head briefly, but I had other work to do, so I forgot about it. Today we were eating the organs of thigh meat. Okay, also I'm gonna start whispering now. I think the soft-spoken might be a little too rough on me, so I'm gonna drink some water. It's super hard to it's easy to whisper. It's easy to just talk normal, but getting in between is so hard. It's so much control, so it exhausts me, so I will just
whisper.
Mom would be putting her all into making something like roast chicken with the thigh meat, so I was forbidden from interfering. I salted and rubbed alcohol onto it, onto the breast meat, then put it in the winter storage room.
We would be using that for tomorrow's meal if we had an airtight bag in a fridge. I would have made bird ham, but oh well. Life is full of regrets. Oh my. It is. That certainly smells good. It's not ready yet. Once the smell of the soup started drifting through the air, Mom, who had been keeping her distance, started inching her way to the pot. You had to cook bird bone broth for a decently long time, so I started chopping vegetables bit by bit while keeping an eye on the scum. Doing anything took a long time in this body, so I wanted to save time anywhere I could. The first step of my plan for making Japanese-like food revolved around the concept of hot pot, where I could cook all the ingredients in a single pot. I figured that once I had a good broth, I would be able to make a decent hot pot. I wouldn't be able to make the kind I was used to, but now I had bird bone broth.
Bird bone broth.
Since I lacked any ponzu sauce, I was taking pomes, the yellow paprika-esque fruits that tasted like tomatoes, and boiling them with herbs for flavor in the hot pot. Is it like pome soup? I would be using the tips of the bird wings, which were too bony for regular eating, and some seasonal vegetable that I didn't know the name of. The fact that most anything tastes good when boiled together is why I respected hot pots so much. Oh, I think it's about ready, Mom. Could you help me? I put the strainer on top of the second biggest pot and called for Mom. What do you need me to do? I want you to pour the soup out of this pot. It'll get rid of the stuff inside of it that we don't want. So we won't be eating all that then, said Mom, sounding relieved for some reason as she strained the chicken bone broth. I cleaned the biggest pot and had her put the strained soup into it. We used the second biggest pot the most, so it would be a pain to put the soup stock into it. My plan was to use the second biggest pot for the pome soup after all. I put dried mushrooms into the prepared soup and got to work, starting with the pome soup as the wing tips boiled. I loosened the edible meat from the bones and added it all to the pot. The bones were sharp, so I had to grab the meat bit by bit, making sure to not leave any within it. Mom's roast chicken was starting to smell nice, so considering time constraints, I started putting vegetables into my pot too. Mine, what do you think you're doing? Putting in vegetables? Don't you know pome soup was done since I took this come out. A quick taste test confirmed that it tasted pretty good. You didn't have to parboil vegetables before using them. I'm home. I guess it was our place, huh? Hi, Julie. What do you mean? I smelled something nice on the road and got hungry while walking. Everyone started looking for where the smell was coming from. I didn't think it'd be coming from my place. It was like getting hungry for noodles after walking by a ramen stand. Bird bone broth had a pretty strong smell after all. I'm home. Oh, now I know where that smell was coming from. Dad, who had a morning shift, came home at about the same time. The bird bone broth smell had apparently traveled pretty far. Dad sat at the table with excitement on his face. Our family had gathered just in time for dinner. I'll give us a bird for today. He said it was thanks for the meat you gave him earlier, Gunther. I made it with mine. You're saying mine made this stuff I don't recognize? That's right. Mom's roast was placed in the center of the table, and beside it was salad with tenderloin placed on top. The salted organs were placed next to Dad as finger food, and pome hot pot was in everyone's bowls. The hot pot soup now looked like regular soup. What's this? It smells really nice. Can I eat some? It's pome soup. I worked hard to get the broth from the bird bone soup stock, so it could be really good. Try some. Julie, her face up close to... Julie put her face close to this pome soup, gave a sparkling smile, and grabbed her spoon. Wow, it's so good. How amazing. Goodness, it is. I was surprised to see boiling bird bones and putting in vegetables after just washing them, but this really doesn't taste delicious. This really does taste delicious, said Mom earnestly after taking a bite herself. Given how experienced she was with this world's food, cooking, she must have been worried despite the good smell. Incredible mind, you've got a talent for cooking. Dad, overjoyed, shoved the food into his face at an immense speed. I tried eating some of the pome soup myself. The bird bone broth had really nice flavor, and the vegetables added a lot. It tasted good, it really did, but it wasn't Japanese food. The next day, I finished gathering firewood.
Excuse me. And
went home as soon as possible. The small kids had to stick together in a tight group at all times, but kids like Julie, who had finished their baptism, could leave the group and do whatever they wanted with some prior notice. Thus, I went home early with Julie. I wanted to use the rest of the bird meat today, so Julie and I were sharing cooking duties. The second step of my plan to make Japanese type food was to try the sake steam. Steam the meat. I figured that any alcohol could work, not just Japanese sake. So I'm guessing you already know what you want to make mine. I'm planning on sake steaming the meat and making
Yeah, it seems like it's flour, eggs, and potatoes put together. Looks kind of yummy. Very yummy. I should probably eat. It's almost 6:14. I should probably eat before I started. Excuse me. What was I gonna say before that? So let's see, how many hours? Oh god, sorry if you heard all that bone cracking. Let's see. How long do we have to read this? Excuse me. I have 72 hours to complete this book, so. Or this chapter. So, what I think I'll do is probably go live after I eat, or I could just go on BRB if no one minds, because I should probably eat before it gets too late. Also, thank you for the follow, Tom. Welcome. Yes, so I'm gonna eat. What I could do is just go on BRB. Don't know how long that will take though. Let's see. I've been streaming for an hour and 30 minutes. Alright, or 20. Alright, actually I'll come back. Hopefully it will be less scuff the second time around. So yeah, but it was a good read so far. We're about, let's see. It said we're about 30% done with part 7. So we are 30% done with part 7, and then we have part 8, and then we'll be complete with the first volume of the series. And there's like many other volumes, so at least I can finally say that I finished at least one book of Ascendance of a Bookworm, which is cool. So yes. Also, hello. How's it going, Ran? Alrighty, so I will go and eat dinner, and I'll be back later. If not, I'll let you guys know on Discord if I will be taking the rest of the day to myself. So, yeah. Alrighty. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me as well. Have a good rest of your city Monday. Wait, it's still Sunday? Whoa. Alright, have a good rest of your Sunday. I totally forgot it's Sunday, right? Alright, yes. Sunday. Alrighty. Bye-bye.